Hello, blessed souls. Welcome to Gypsianmoon. I am Akriti, and today we're coming up with pick a card reading for understanding. Before they met you, who were they? This person on your mind could be anyone, although this reading is more romance oriented, but you can see it for any person you may be wanting to understand. Who were they before they met you? Alright, so we'll also be doing, apart from a character archetype study of this person, energetic wise, mentally, spiritually, wherever they, something or the other part of their characteristic and all of that which wants to be revealed. We'll also be taking a few charms perhaps, but for sure we'll be taking a few love notes from this person, alright, who you want to know about. Okay, so it may give you some insights where who they are right now resonates with this reading, what we decipher about this person, or could be that they are a different person now and you can see the growth, the journey they've endured. There will be points of resonance also coming in. So this is a reading which is catered for the collective. So take what resonates and let go of that which doesn't. All right, so just see this reading mindfully with your own discernment. All right, so here are the options. This is number 1 with 44, the box, number 2 with 61, the mask, and number 3, card 3 with 37, the desert. Take your time and see which one is calling you out the most. And then let's hop on to your reading. I'll see you soon. Hello, number 1. For those who were drawn to this card, the box, and the number associated with it is number 64 over here. Number 44, sorry. Number 44 over here. All right. So, 444 coming in, and it's interesting that the box is with 44, which is foundational, very structured. So the basic crux coming in with this card in particular seems to me someone who lives a very short life, which can be anticipated by the rules, by the book, a little bit of confinement of the righteousness, or this is a kind of person who doesn't like to be in the gray. It's either black or white. And it also goes in terms of how they perceive others, whether they are good or bad. There's a stark distinction. If it's murky in the middle, where this person cannot decipher who the other person is really like, because another person has different stances in different I don't know how to say it, but there's a good and bad element of that person. But if they see it as I can't determine whether this is a good person or a bad person, then they take a long time with suspicious eyes to make sure that they come to a right with given how do I say this? Examples, different scenarios. They'll take that time to study that person before they can demark that person as being white or black, that stark distinction of good and bad. So that's the thing which is coming through. I think over time it has matured understanding to remain open to the fact that no one's perfect. Everyone has different shades, and not everything in life can be, or even people can be distinctively categorized as white and black. All right, so that's the energy which is coming through. But this is someone who likes to play by the book, rule book, the guidebook is what they follow. So give the understanding, the steps given, or the things which their parents also or family has also asked them to accomplish are those things, milestones which they have to accomplish. It's like laser focus on those things. So that's the energy which is coming through. It's a little confining that way. This could also be someone who has taken too much before they met you, or even now is a person who tends to take a lot of responsibilities. And sometimes they have too much on their platter that they start becoming confined. Or even sometimes this person also with the box coming through, it also feels like the confinement comes in when they feel that they have to always be in the good books of others. So people pleasing, other people's validation, which may have had a stronger hold on their perception of their own self. That's the energy which is coming through over here, all right? So let's go forward and see what's happening over here. With the box, it also felt like someone who is very materialistic or very engaged in the materialistic world. So finances, career, their positioning, what they're wearing, where they're staying, all of that having a very profound impact on their self-worth is something which comes through quite significantly over here. And time and again, this person is always challenged to come out of that comfort level of surety that they have created. Life challenges them by bringing them to the edge of sorts of trying something new, and they always take a very long time, even a bit of procrastination before trying something new. Overthinking is also something, a shadow attribute of this person is something which is coming through, which may be true even in the now. All right. So Spirit, for those who are drawn to the box, who is this person? Who was this person before they met? Number 3. Number 3? Number 1. All right, so we have the trickster. Light attribute is transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. Yeah, that's the box thing. It came in reverse. So we have the shadow attribute, which gets highlighted, which says manipulating others through duplicity. So when it comes in reverse, so yeah, that manipulation, King of Swords energy coming in reverse, Magician, Major Arcana coming in reverse, where mind games were a thing in getting things like being slightly of a bully, but with a smile and motivating that person, maybe even through reverse psychology kind of a energy which is coming through. So before they met you, they were very much into people giving into their desires, this person having their own way, making excuses, coming up with very nice lucrative excuses for their absence, which worked for them, half-heartedness which was there. And we have the liberator with light attributes, freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns, and it's come in reverse. So the shadow attributes being more highlighted, imposing your own tyranny over others you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints coming in. So a little irrational, sometimes by confining to the rules of the society, the norms and all of that, sometimes this person had this flair. They may still have this flair of rebelling a little, a streak of rebelling when they have confined to what is expected out of them. The moment it all becomes monotonous for them, they do something different, and they may do some compulsive actions which aren't very maturely thought through. And the consequences that follow up the next day, perhaps like with a hangover, also thinking like, oh man, I knew better. Why did I drink so much or heavily so much? Why did I drive so rashly? Why did I say that to my friend? And I should have just pulled the plug there and stopped myself, like biting the tongue kind of a thing, which comes in. because this is a person who is like, their drunk self could be quite aggressive, which is very opposite to who they are when they're sober, very calm, composed. But internally, there's this fire, this volcano. The energy which is coming in is someone who was quite boxed up with their authenticity, not showcasing their authenticity, and the frustration which was built due to that, them trying to maneuver or overpower other people for having that sense of control, imposing their ideas through mind games and enjoying that like a chess game. Everything's a chess. It's like a game. How can we win? This kind of a mentality which was there is coming through quite a bit. It's very much like the divine masculine energy being distorted, coming in over here, out of balance, or unhealed divine masculine energy, where maybe they were getting bullied at home through any sibling or the family dynamics, and then they were imposing the effects of that, wanting a certain kind of validation of feeling strong within, and doing the same what they experience at home with others in the world, in their friend circle, kind of a thing. And even past relationship is something which is coming through. We have conflicted decisions, hot and cold, multiple choices, and this is the person who like to have who like to play the field, keep their options open so that they don't get boggled down by the responsibility of just one. They liked handling many things, many people at once. And that state of conflict, being confused, not knowing what to choose, what's right for them, fueled this attribute of theirs, while internally, in actuality, they felt very confined with their current circumstances. But the comfort of it being there, like, day in, day out, playing that role that they had, it just kept on with the vicious cycle. Like, the devil card energy is coming through into my mind. We have only you, devoted, attached, grave. And then they laid their eyes on you is the energy which is coming through, and things changed around a little, because firstly they realized that they had to ground themselves, and the gift of gab had to be followed up with words. That's the thing which is coming through. And also with the only you coming in and just taking those two words, they were very self-centric. And we have confusion, uncertain, unclear, unsure as to who they were, because they had to figure it out. They were playing a role which they have seen, and they utilized it in dealing with other people to safeguard themselves. But at the end of it, everything, like the direction of their life, the trajectory, where they're going, what they actually want to do, even if they had a job, they felt like, it wasn't their true calling. So a lot of confusion, and wanting to be around people constantly, a little bit of codependency in terms of that, because they don't want to spend time with their own self. They were running away from their own self. That's the energy which is coming through. Interesting. Who was this person before number one met them? Something which came into my mind while looking at these two was they would find the comfort in tricking people into agreeing to be in situations where at any moment this person could liberate themselves, because they didn't promise too much, and they would give a little bit of breadcrumbing energy is coming through. Maybe this person is quite attractive, so they got away with a lot of things, which they now realize was a very dicey game that they were playing. All right. So we have Marlene Dietrich. Dietrich, I don't know how to say the name. This says, dress for yourself, not for a lover or occasion. Once you have forgiven your lover, get them to reheat the sin. It's the friends you call after hours that matter. All right. Again, the mentality over here is like, how do I put it into words? Very smooth operator is the energy which is coming through. A little sly also, a sly Casanova kind of a thing, but very smart. Not just looks wise, but intelligently, like intelligence wise, because the way they were handling things, the way they were trying to the way they were trying to make sure that they are sailing smoothly through life, through situations, through relationships, um, before any kind of hurt could hit them, the potential thereof, they would float away, sail away. That's the energy which is coming through. But even if they were the kind of a tyrant or the leader kind of a personality in their group friend circle also, this person still, and even now, really doted over their thick pals. The dynamics may keep changing, but a lot of banter, no ego which is getting hurt. So saying the most flamboyant or quirkiest of things and just laughing their heads off kind of a banter. Their friends are and were their family is what is coming through. And who they treat and perceive as family, that inner circle is wildly protected, is something which is coming through. So that's the good part that we can take from it. But when it came to lovers and all of that, it was like, I don't have time for seriousness. Let's keep things light. Talk dirty to me, but don't cry me a river kind of a mentality which was there. Interesting. I just wanted to cut this. We have releasing, letting go, moving on, walking away, which they did very easily. Withdrawn, single, lonely, solitary. Yeah, they like to be a lone wolf kind of energy. Alpha kind of a vibe is coming through, but I don't want to get into the psychology and stuff. They definitely liked playing with fire and not make too many life-changing decisions. Keep it simple. Keep it surface level if that's what's needed. And while their friendships grew thicker, their take on love became a little more flimsy, is what's coming through. As a way of self-protection, perhaps also. And believing that they're young, they don't want to settle down, and they can be as rash as they want. We have responsibility. You are aware of the power of your thoughts and the amount of love you express. In the past, they didn't really want that kind of a responsibility. They were already overburdened by other familial responsibility or taking care of their own friends and all of that, that they didn't want to take the responsibility of love, because relationships felt suffocating at the end. That's what it feels, where they would retaliate. Acceptance, you are ready to release control of situations or people and loving embrace the rhythm of life. So yeah, with these two coming in the past, they wanted to be more sure short of the dynamics of controlling how things go and all of that. Wherein all this while, the universe was trying to teach them how to accept things for how they are rather than controlling, pushing, coercing certain outcomes is something which is coming through, which they may still be working towards now, is something which is coming in, and we have trust. Yeah, the thing is like they would blindly trust their friends, but when it came to lovers, romantic partners, they had a very tough time trusting. You have a strong connection to your soul's loving voice and have faith in your intuition. Um, I feel like in the past, this while these may be things that they are working towards now in terms of love. I went on talking a lot about it, so but the camera apparently overheated, so too hot to handle. Um, what was I saying? One thing which I want to say of all the things that I said, because I went on for like 10 minutes, they also had a problem, like they would not take responsibility of their actions, like they would blame shift or blame another person for their actions, kind of a thing. So that was something that they had to learn, and maybe with you this was more significantly achieved. And over time, this person took a lot of time to trust you also. They tried testing the connection also. I said things so fluently right now, I can't even retrace or retract. It's not retract, but retrace and go back and see what all I said. We have rewilding, rewilding, the grandmother moon, rewilding. And taking responsibility and having trust, which they have a hard time doing due to past experiences. This card coming in is a checkpoint that you do with your own self, where you realize what is authentic for you, who you are, how you may have strayed from your own innate beliefs, authentic beliefs, what you want from life. It's that acceptance of who you are, where you are, and where you want to go. All of that which was getting rewired is something which is coming through. It took a good look in the mirror for this person to accept things for how they are and how things can improve when they stop being in the wounded state that they have been for such a long time, is something which is coming through over here. They weren't really listening to their intuition or their higher self. They were more in the ego self, the shadow work, the shadow self, enacting and creating a defense mechanism, us against the world, kind of a thing, which only led them to be a little distorted, wounded, and lonely, alone. That there's no one who can understand them truly. Like they have to put on a front that they aren't volatile, they aren't soft. So this hard exterior that they made, and it took a lot of time, or it was difficult to break through that, crack through that, like the softness to come through. And they had more comfort in presenting that hard exterior that they had built for the world. And I feel with you, they know that they don't always have to be uptight about their hard exterior. They can be the soft self with you, and it came over time when they started trusting you. That's what's being said. Yeah, in the past we have the hangman in reverse. They were going on in life, unadulterated, perhaps partying too much, not really having a clear vision, making decisions a little haphazardly, postponing it till the time they can, and then when it's like, very close to the time of making that decision, then making one haphazardly without forethought, kind of a thing, which is coming in. And we have the Empress also coming in reverse. This person didn't know their own worth is something which is coming through over here, who's trying to figure things out, was overly imposing their will onto others to value their own selves a little more. Because at the end of it, how they viewed themselves was very undervalued, where they would dare to compare themselves with their friend, perhaps also with a friend also, and still find so many loopholes in their own self. Then to counteract that void or the lack, they would impose the power a little more to feel good, kind of a egoistic thing which is coming through. On cutting, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. The delays and everything, they were feeling stuck, really stuck, confused, stuck. At the same time, so flamboyant, a little egoistic, prideful, a little pompous also, overly controlling, but clueless as to who they are, what is the direction, what is the next step, like next 5-year plan. I don't know. I'm just focusing on this next upcoming weekend. That's all I can think about. That's how far I want to think about, not too long, too serious and all of that kind of a thing which is coming through over here. All right. Their intuition was completely silent, radio silence. They won't trust their own intuition, their own inner voice is something which is coming through very clearly over here. It's almost like the conscience, which was purposely muted, so that no inner conversation or any realization of what they're doing, accountability doesn't come in. A way of coping with what they were doing was to silence themselves, the inner voice, because they didn't want to be answerable to anyone, even when it came to their own self. It's all right, it's okay. It's all right, it's okay. It wasn't. Because at the back of the mind, it was weighing them down, but then they were displacing that anger and projecting it outwardly as well, and being the dynamic, egoistic self that they could present to the world. That's what's coming through. Interesting. Let's see a few signs. With the hangman coming in, a bit of Empress and hangman when they're coming, Libra and Taurus energy is coming through. Capricorn also came in with the Death card, which came into my mind, and the Magician that I spoke about, that's Virgo and Gemini. All right, we have an Aries wants to chase you coming through. So if you are involved with an Aries, They're more than likely to want the space in order for them to take the lead, and they will be coming back, initiating something. We have a Capricorn needs to shake it off. Yeah, the anger, the stiffness, the rigidity is something that needs to be shaken off. A little, we have a Gemini misses your flirty ways and chats coming in. And with the Capricorn, needs to shake it off. There's a little bit of stress this person may be going through, undergoing, and the need of the realization of wanting to change things around and to detox their life is also coming through. And with this one over here, a Gemini misses your flirty ways and chats. Yeah, this person misses talking with you. That light-hearted banter that you both shared is also something which is coming through. These may be your signs or the other person's signs. Any other? Alright. Let's look into a few messages from your person. Oh my God, come on. So firstly, we have, I deeply regret the way I treated you. I can't take it back, but you didn't deserve that coming in. So the way they were in the past, and they may have done a little bit of, not a little bit of, you could have sensed it, but you let it play out, and you, the mind games, you could sense it, but you waited, and when it continued, you had no qualms in calling them out, and that helped. And there could be certain past mistakes that they've done, and they're feeling regretful about it, wanting to take responsibility. I'm seeking closure right now is coming through, closing out certain cycles which have stopped them from progressing forward, stopped them from opening their heart or mind towards you, towards a different way or trajectory of life that is possible, is something which is coming through. Release work which they may be going through. It could be certain kind of closure, catharsis that they want with a family member to amend that, or even certain past relationship experience that they, not in person, but also with through their own self, they're trying to find closure so that they can open up to the potential which is with you. We have a confirmation coming in. I will come back for you. Especially if there has been certain kind of travel delays with the Wheel of Fortune which came in reverse, and if there is physical distance also between the two of you, they want to reach out, come back and meet you, travel to meet you. We have, I found a lost part of me when you closed in on me. Thank you, with a heart. Yeah, with everything which is going on, they were running in this world very wounded, and you also helped their inner child feel safe enough to express itself. It was retaliating for a very long time, being so wounded. And being too overly rational, too practical, too logical, categorizing everything, in putting them into sweet boxes when some had worms also which had to be taken out. You encouraged them to do that dirty work which was required in order for them to come back to who they are, to be their authentic self and be at ease, and step away from the mind games, the manipulation, the constant playing game, the one up which was always on their mind. They have relaxed, and through that, through grounding, which was very much given by you also, this is what they have. They just have a lot of appreciation, respect for who you are, and the influence you've had in them. I want to grow old with you. Woo, what's going on, child? Eureka coming through with the hangman also coming in reverse. It's like they are thinking quite a bit and they rarely like to think about the future, but they can see one with you. And while it may get them nervous, perhaps with the things that have gone on between the two of you, it may be a little sticky situation. There may be certain things we still have to work through, but this is what they're seeing with you. They see you in the future. I'm trying to find something interesting to say rather than come up with excuses, or if we have been a little spaced out for some time, they're thinking about something interesting to share with you. They may have some good news also that they want to share with you. I've been dreaming about you lately. Maybe you also have started dreaming about them. You could be meeting telepathically. Um, every time this person starts thinking about you, because this person wants to manifest you clearly, you start feeling that tug, that pull towards them, your thoughts going towards them, and you energetically feeling there's a shift. It may have been very gradual, very slow, but this is in a positive direction, is something which is coming through over here. All right, so that's what I have for you. The phone has again conked off because it was so hot. So I hope this was insightful for you and that I see you again soon. Until next time, Om Namah Shivaya. Keep that vibe high, my lovely moonians. Hello, number 2, for those who were drawn to the mask with 61. So when you add the 6 and 1 together, it's 7, which is a very spiritual, enduring energy. 6 is very Venusian energy. So it's pertaining to the matrix, how we relate to the world, how we come forward, the materialistic world, pleasure. And 1 is independent, individualistic, the one taking initiative, leadership role, which comes in, and the mask coming through as we go into who was this person on your mind before you met them. This is someone who was a little conceited, concealed their true identity, the full measure of it. Also, when the mask comes in, it also talks about some parts which were repressed, rejecting a part of us. It's almost like the shadow work which was too heavy to deal with, and with time this person kept postponing the shadow work, which was very important for their whole self to be illuminated. All right. The mask also talks about a little bit of deception or being too focused on how someone is coming out to others. So kind of the energy of group 1 also. So if you are coming from pile 1's reading, card 1's reading, so hello once again. This also feels like someone who has a very good poker face. You may not really fully understand what's going within because of their cool exterior is something which is coming through over here. It kind of also feels like this person is an introvert or could be an ambivert who is extroverted also and introverted too, has both those tendencies, is something which is coming through. In a very few cases, it also feels like someone who has battled, it'll be a little heavy, who has battled depression or the low times. When the lows are there, hit them, it really hits them, it affects their mood, it affects their energy level. They would want to sleep a little more, escape into the dream world more than being present in the physical one, and also this is at the same time a person who is very vibrant, very radiant. So this person is someone who likes to interact with the world, in particular apart from work, when they are in this state, rather than when they are in this one, they become more reclusive, they go into hermit, and that's their way of spending some time in solitude, clearing the mind, and then going forward. Not everyone will, on some levels it also feels like what the world sees is a happy-go-lucky person, and what they conceal from the world is the depth that they have, even the past that they've had. So at first impression, or a few times initially, this person may seem like everything's good, flowing in their life, this person is abundant, everything's in order, but no one really anticipates or thinks also that they may have undergone a lot. So the whole journey has been quite trying, but all of it, this person has been forged in fire. So they command a lot of power, and that is channeled more from within. That's what's coming through. Fortitude, strengthening, a lot of core strengthening is what this person has undergone. Before they met you, even now, that's where their confidence stems from. It's not overconfident, even if it may seem so, but that ounce of knowingness, self-governance, their reasoning, their principles, their way of thinking and deduction comes from a place of experience, and solid reason is something which is coming in over here. A little bit of earth energy is also coming in with a bit of air energy. So those are 6 signs which are Sagittarius came into my mind. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn is the energy coming in. With Venus being said, Taurus and Libra energy stands forth. With the mask, a little bit of Aquarius, Virgo, Gemini energy comes in. That's that. Spirit, who was this person before number 2 met them? This was and still is a person who initially likes to doesn't like to showcase their cards. That's what's coming through. So they keep their hand close. We have Midas or miser, the light attributes being entrepreneur or creative ability to turn anything to gold, delight in sharing life's riches. This came in reverse, so the shadow attribute is getting highlighted, which is hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. So that gets highlighted with the fact the mask coming in, a little bit of concealment, which is there. Holding what is the 4 of Pentacles energy is coming in. And that also has the energy of controlling, being a little miser. That way, being overly selective how they use their resources, because someone may be functioning on the lack mentality, or a fear of rejection or fear of judgment, which may lead to persecution, is what made them a little conceited is coming through. Conceited also. Because why I'm saying conceited with the concealment, but conceited mentality is also coming in. So going into a new situation also with a little bit of pessimism, anticipating the worst case scenario so that you're prepared, even if the present situation doesn't call for it, but still we're saving for worse case scenarios, is something which was dominant before they met you is something which is being highlighted. We have the child magical light attributes are seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. The shadow attributes are pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. So, bare minimum will suffice. Entering things where not too much responsibility is needed. Being very careful, overly careful with how much they're promising, or whenever they're promising to do something, they're keeping it open-ended so that even the follow-through is not, there's not too much pressure on the follow-through for doing it, because I already said that maybe, I threw in the maybe for a reason. That kind of a thing is coming in. But yeah, the glass half empty mentality is what contributed to the major chunk of how they went about things, is what I want to say. All right. Moving forward, we have bitterness coming in. Yeah. A little jaded energy is coming in. We have resentment, anger, hurtful words. In order to safeguard themselves, also could be this person had a anger streak where even the smallest of things would perturb them, trigger them, and this other side would, feisty side would come out very easily. They wouldn't shy away from wording their displeasure. Very prickly, hard to read, very moody perhaps also. We have karma, consequences, cause and effect that's coming in. They were caught up in a karmic loop. And the resentment, like resentment over the years, collecting it and never really speaking about it until and unless the whole thing has been filled, the bottle, the vessel has been filled to the brim, and then any flicker makes a ripple and that brings out the volcano. So there was always a little bit of anger behind that anger, kind of a vibe which I'm getting. We have curse, hex, witchcraft, negative mindset. The negative inner saboteur made them their own biggest obstacle, their own biggest opponent. Negative self-prophecies also, and then saying like, see, this just keeps on happening. Just think of what would you do. I suddenly saw someone in a flight, sitting in a flight and getting nervous. So the feet were like shifty feet, sweating a little. What it also feels like is not learning from the lessons, from the experiences, rather than giving into the negative bias. Oh, this always happens. What's the point of even getting excited when I know this person will disappoint me? And it's from the start it becomes a no deal kind of a thing, right? Because the flavor of resentment starts weighing on us. Emotional baggage is what they were carrying, and they didn't really find a way of channeling that, acknowledging those parts, and releasing those things. Someone who has taken in the guilt, the resentment, the ego, which got jaded, wanting to invest less and less. The feeling is quite scorned for some reason. Like if someone even said certain positive things, even complimented them, they would go on and like what is that? Dissect that. And then certain kind of negative connotation would attach itself from there, sprout itself from there, and they'll hold on to that. Kind of keep old grudges, unable to forgive themselves before they could forgive anyone else, because a lot of forgiveness was needed as this person was going on quite resentful, unhealed, bitter. Kind of the underline of self-pity, which galvanized their day-to-day orchestration, is something which is coming in for some reason. On cutting, we have silence, frozen, no words, stone wall. Yeah, at times when things would get a little difficult for themselves, where their thoughts would get very negative and dark, that is what they would do. Silent treatment. They would have a hard time articulating why are they getting cross, pissed, resentful, unhappy, dissatisfied. And instead of communicating, feeling safe to express themselves, emote what they're feeling, even to the loved ones, they'll just capsule it and drink the poison while it was just poisoning them. Is something which is coming through. So they would ghost also very easily because they saw everything being too brittle. That's what's coming through. What else do I want to see? We have discernment coming in. I feel with times, even when you came around, the discernment coming in is like, instead of presuming or coming into a situation with their prejudices, they wanted to, this person is now getting into the phase of, or it not everyone or every situation calls for that dire presumption. I have enough experience, even the negative ones, which help me understand the indications to help me discern what is right, what is not right, and I don't have to go in with that prejudice all the time, which is creating a illusion for me. So anyways, we have, you are developing the skill to distinguish love from fear and truth from illusion. Yeah, that's what's coming through. This is what they may have been working towards or started working towards when you came into their life, where they became a little more active about enhancing this skill and realizing, hey, rather than having just an overview of that jadedness, I can give a situation sometimes a few months to before I make a judgment out of it. Because this fatalist kind of a mentality is not really helping me. We have priorities. You understand the paramount importance of manifesting love in all situations. With the priorities also coming in with karma over here. This person had to learn how to prioritize, reshuffle their priorities is also somewhere down the line coming in. And that, yes, you don't have to trust anyone blindly. But if you feel there is, after discerning, there is potential that the other person's intentions are genuine and I want to see how it goes, then you also have to take a leap of faith somewhere, is something which is coming in. I somewhere down, one thing which came through was also you help them realize that it is okay to prioritize their own self rather than putting yourself third or fourth. and that your priorities, you need to check in with your priorities also, whether or not they are still in sync and taking you towards your higher purpose, your path, in alignment with your path or not. That is also somewhere down the line coming through. They even had relationships in the sense of family member relationships, responsibility, friendships, which were quite toxic at the end of it, is something which is coming through. And kind of them trying to overcompensate, overlooking other people's negative traits or toxic traits just because it was so hard to get a friendship base, or it's like, where even if the friendship, just say, even if a particular friendship is now obsolete, this person, the person you're like, talking about, asking about, a relationship or a friendship that they have which has gone obsolete and these two are different, this person was still ready to, even when they would have bitterness towards this person, they would still go on, drag it a little more, just because of the time it has taken, like, how much they have invested, even if it felt like it was no good carrying it forward. That kind of energy is coming through. All right. Who was this person before number 2 met them? Stuck in the karmic cycles, karmic lessons, unable to understand those. We have the 9 of Wands coming in reverse, very much guarded and resistant to change, to trust another person. But by the time they were about to meet you, they were on the cusp of wanting that change. We have the Knight of Pentagrams coming in, Knight of Pentacles coming through. They were at the cusp of wanting to learn different things. This is a very apprentice energy. So, wanting to learn new skills, um, wanting different experiences, becoming open to the fact that this fatalist mentality has to go or get subdued, because it is taking the light, sucking the light out of every situation, endeavor that I go into. That kind of energy is coming through. A little bit of entrepreneurial energy is also coming in. Was it over here somewhere? Yeah, that one. Same thing over here. We have Justice with Libra coming through, wanting to do the right things. And we have the King of Pentagrams coming in, King of Pentacles again, Libra energy coming in, and Capricorn energy coming through, along with Virgo and Taurus. This just reminds me with the mask also coming in. It feels like who they were in work, their work mode, phase, is what they utilized even when they were detoxing, relaxing with their loved ones, is something which is coming in over here. Very balanced, righteous, giving certain people who have wronged them chance once again, just because they were emotionally attached and getting hurt due to it and creating more bitterness, not knowing when to draw the line and feeling guilty for creating a healthy boundary for their own self, is also somewhere down the line coming through. Lack of boundaries is what is coming in over here. Work-wise, a leader, a boss, or someone with a lot of potential for stepping into a leadership role, being seen by the seniors, professionally doing really, really well, very business savvy too. Could be in the legal industry is coming in, for the lack of words. someone who was solely focusing on their profession, growing, learning new skills, so academics and all of that, thinking that I'll specialize in a field and become so good that I become untouchable. And then what I bring to the table is, apart from everything else, very staunchly would be my position, what I'm earning, bringing money to the table kind of a thing. Maybe because this person grew up in a bit of poverty. I usually say the word right, but right now I just feel I'm saying it wrong. So that's the gist I'm getting over here. Like, it's almost like being denied of entering somewhere because the clothing wasn't right. Just saying. Like, a normal example would be going to a club wearing trousers, or not trousers, but three-fourths or shorts or slippers in casuals, and being denied that entry, and that kicking their ego into I'll own this place kind of thing, which is coming in over here. All right. We have Courtney Love coming through with, if rock stars like leaders of a religious cult, be the unvirgin Mary coming in. Quite a rebel. Be more than human, be a force of nature, be ambitious. It doesn't matter if you don't know where you're going. So, yeah, there's a hot pistol kind of energy which is coming through, but lacking focus, a little bit of vengeance which came in quite strongly for this person, but a little misdirected is what is coming in. We have number 14, peace of the goddess, inner peace is what was lacking. Always a thirst for more. It almost feels like this person before meeting you was chasing happiness, as though happiness is a destination, which is so far from the truth, because happiness is in the now. It's not a place, because the moment you associate it with a milestone, that I'll be happy when I hit this milestone, by the time you reach this milestone, you already have another aspiration that you're driving towards, and the one which the milestone where you are reaching, you don't really feel that kind of a happiness, because there's a thirst already arising for another milestone. So that kind of a thing is coming in. I think your your effect on this person really helped them relax and ground themselves. Like, yeah, while I want to prove myself to the world and all of that, let that not be the driving force kind of a thing. Like, using anger to get focused is what they utilized in the past, is something which is coming through. So that about your person. Let's quickly look into a few signs coming in. Could be yours or the person the person you're inquiring about, or the energy that they may be in. All right. Spirit for number 2. Which signs are most prominent in this reading? All right. Okay, we will take these 6 of them. Okay. We have an Aries needs to loosen the grip. Yeah, very Aries, Mars energy which is coming through. A little distorted, very uptight. with the King of Pentagrams also coming in. A Leo wants to impress you. A Scorpio likes your... this is unfinished, but... pizzazz came into my mind. We have an Aries can't stop talking about you. Quite animated. Maybe their friends are like, enough, man. How much will you talk about this person? Kind of a thing coming through. A Leo misses your passion and gaze. A Libra wants to sort things out. With the Libra Justice card also coming through, yeah, this person wants to sort things out with you. They want to temper down a little. They know they have a... they may come out as a not gender specific but angry young man, but they're trying to calm themselves down. They like the chase, they like to pursue someone, and when they get excited, there's no stopping them, is what is coming through. They really like your gaze and the way that you handle them. Almost like I am not perturbed or intimidated by the power that you hold, because it resonates with my soul. I too have that power. So while it may have intimidated people or scared people off, you ain't gonna do that to me. I am actually feistier than you. It's almost like, while you may bark on a day-to-day basis, but baby, when I bark, it ain't a bark, it's a roar. That's what's coming in. A Scorpio needs to bury a few keys coming in also. So Leo, Scorpio, Aries, and Libra coming in quite prominently as a sign. As a message from them, let's see what else would we like to say. One more card, please, Spirit. Thank you. We have, please stop, you're making it easier for me, chase a vibe. For now, if you have been trying to initiate anything, just stop. Give them the space, because this person wants to take a lead. Especially if there has been power struggle and all of that, just give them the space. And they'll run back to you, something which is coming through. We have, I do love you, I've always loved you coming through. Expect a phone call soon coming in. They'll call you if you haven't spoken in a few weeks. They'll call you and test the waters and see if you'd like to meet them soon. Sometimes I feel I don't deserve you, you're too good for me. That's what's coming in. It's like, I'm a wreck. I can be a wrecking ball also. But you're so nice. And I don't deserve you, because you're so soft, you're so nice. They haven't seen your warrior side, I think, is what is coming through. Life gave me something so beautiful and I lost my mind. So this is someone who is feeling like, gosh, is it too late? I had a good chance with number 2 and I just messed it up because I was too busy trying to create a life and all of that, thinking that it was important, prioritizing work over everything else, kind of a thing, which made things a little unrealistic. If you leave me now, you'll take away the biggest part of me, kind of fearing also that you may have drifted away, is coming through. It's almost like they didn't want to be distracted by you as they climbed up the career ladder. But on climbing the career ladder, they realized it wasn't you who was distracted, it was them who was distracted from the connection. So the reshuffling, reprioritizing is also coming into their head now. Thank the Lord for that. Last two messages we have: I cheated us out of our beautiful connection. I'm so sorry. So there could have been a little bit of keeping things open-ended, third-party scenarios in some, which was known. And due to their fears, due to their pessimism in the past, they never really properly gave this connection a chance. Due to their fears is something which is coming through. It's been a lovely ride knowing you. Thank you. So they're grateful for having you on in their life, and not all messages will resonate, so take what does. But they are grateful for you entering their life and opening their mind, their world, to so many different other ways of being, conducting, and thinking, which has really helped them grow and open their eyes and also feel comfortable in unmasking themselves with you, letting go of the deceptions, the mind games too, because this person initially may have thought that they had to be a certain way in order to impress you. And you could kind of feel that inauthenticity, that not all is being revealed, which may have induced you to take a step back also. And while initially they may have taken that, judged that, you taking a step back as you not being interested in them at all, they may have done their own thing, explored their options also, even if it was just talking. But then they realize that you compare to no other. And in order for them to see who you really are, because they really want to know who you really are, they know that they have to also be honest with you and reveal their true self with you. And in most cases, I see that happening now, is what is coming through. All right, so I hope this was beneficial for you, and if you enjoyed this reading, then please do hit the thumbs up, share it with the loved ones, and I'll see you soon. Until next time, Om Namah Shivaya. Keep that vibe high, my lovely moonians. Hello, number 3. For those who were drawn to this card over here, which is called the Desert and is the number 37 coming through. So today we are asking the question, who were they before you met them? So this could be any person, but the basic theme will be a little romantic. So if you're seeing this for a friend, for a family member, or a business partner, then orchestrate the guidance in accordance to that. But with the Desert coming through, and the Hand coming in, wanting some help, certain kind of drought which is going on, perhaps also in terms of love. This person was refraining, before meeting you, refraining from indulging with surface level or short-term relationships. Could be a little bit of abstinence which was being done over here, a little bit of teetotaler kind of a energy also coming through, a little bit of isolation which is coming through also. They were at a point where right before meeting you is also somewhere down the line coming through, where they started to recognize certain things that they now wanted to disassociate from themselves. So they were, right before meeting you, in the transformation stage, where they were leaving certain groups of people, friends, circles, and moving towards finding their soul tribe. So it was that vacuum period of changing a life path, changing the direction of life, who you associate yourself with. That is the area that is the transition that they were undergoing right before meeting you, is something which is coming through. They were going on a personal journey. Before meeting you, this person felt a little lost, a little alone. Even when they were in a group surrounded by people, they felt a little alone, as though trying to decipher who they are, what's their life purpose, and all of that weighing them down. I want to take a few more cards before I divulge a little more, because there are a few trajectories I can take this, what I'm looking here for, like what I can say, what I'm feeling, what's being told. So I just want to get a little more insight before I take a, okay. We have dilettante, dilettant, perhaps, with the light attributes being delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. Someone who was quite grounded, well-rounded, enjoying the arts, creative. It's almost like even the anger, whatever they felt, they had a way of channeling it, expressing themselves, if not in conversations, but through art, through creativity, is something which is coming through. The shadow attributes being pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So the light attributes are getting highlighted over here. It's almost like with the desert over here. They got a little monotonous. The monotony was suppressing them, and the day-to-day pleasures, they couldn't really find that, is something which is coming through. So a point of saturation which this person had reached before meeting you is something which is coming in, while they found delight and pleasure in arts and seeing people with inspiration. They were searching for the muse, is also somewhere down the line coming in. We have the rescuer coming through. Light attributes getting highlighted. Provides strength and support to others in crisis. Acts out of love with no expectation of reward. So I really like this energy where this person was quite self-sufficient, while they would be giving the shoulder for other people in support. They rarely asked for support, is something which is coming in over here. I like the energy over here. This person was dealing with many takers and not so many givers, is also somewhere down the line coming in. Quite unconditional in their extending the support, the resources, their love. Quite compassionate and empath. It's also like maybe they had a creative streak in them which they were passionate about, but as a child it was suppressed and they were told to focus on academics and getting a concrete work for themselves. That's being reflected over here. It's interesting. I had so many words to say for, like, so many things that I could say for the rest of the readings, but over here I'm selecting my words. A person of few words who feels very deeply, irrespective of however things have panned out for them, still the hope of expecting, having faith, manifesting, working on small wonders in their life, hoping for better days, knowing that the water is near and that the drought will be over. We have abandoned, left out, walked away cold. They may have some deep abandonment issues even now that they are dealing with, positively dealing with Because this is a person, even before meeting you, they had a very nice conversation, connect with their own self. So quite self-aware, which is why they could also put themselves in other people's shoes and understand where they may be coming from, other people may be coming from. They may have dealt with quite a few narcissistic people also. Bluff, pretending, mask, exaggeration, who may have fell for people pretending to be good and at the end realizing that they were just trying to secrete whatever they could from this person. And that was certain kind of tough lesson that they learned. Yet even then they walked away from those situations, and they had that gratitude for learning from this experience, still hoped for better days is what is coming through over here. They did spend a lot of time in solitude, contemplating, realizing things is something which is coming through. This person has worked really, really hard on things, is a hard worker, has been a hard worker since childhood. We have Emily Bronte coming in with, if you ever looked at me once with what I know is in you, I would be a slave. Hearts can be broken, but souls should be shared. Love is like the wild rose briar, friendship like the holy tree, but which will bloom most constantly? It almost feels like this person being the single person, like in the group, the person who is single as a Pringle perhaps, and everyone who's coupled up came to this person for guidance, for advice. So all of this also which happened over here, deception, mind games, whatever they were confronted with, they learned from it and they learned their value. And they learned how to value what they give. So that was the process they were in, a lot of spiritual soul journey that they were in, to becoming a better provider and not overdoing things. How to give and receive in balance is what they were learning. Otherwise, who's this person before they met you? I feel there's not such a drastic change since you met them, because they've done a little bit or like quite a lot of soul searching by the time you met them. So you met their evolved, maturing version, which only solidified as they laid a new foundation for themselves, is something which is coming through. This is someone who was craving for a certain kind of stability, is also somewhere down the line coming in. And also people who they could resonate with, which they rarely found in their lifetime before meeting you, is something which is being said. And this is the kind of a person, even if someone hurt them, they take it with a smile. Now, that may be perceived as being gullible or naive, but that wasn't really the thing in reality. They just knew how to make lemonades. In the earlier years, they would wear their heart on their sleeves, And then when they met with the world, with different kind of people, in terms of romance, also romantic partners, it gave them a reality check where they understood that while there's good in everyone, there's also other facets which play around. So you don't have to put all your cards on the table one at a time. Is something that they were learning, is coming in. Yeah, before meeting you, this person maybe still is the go-to person for everyone, is something which is coming through. It's not really, the reading right now is not really telling too much about who they are at a core, but what role they were playing for everyone is something which is coming through. All right, from Tarot, we have King of Goblets, King of Cups coming in, exactly the energy which we are talking about. This is a person who is very understanding, very caring, takes care of everyone, but they won't divulge their own secrets, their own emotions, what's going on in their life. They are a very good listener, very present listener, not listening just to speak but to understand is their what they have marveled in. And King of Cups is it's interesting, this energy is a little different. I like the energy a lot, but um there's this poise which is coming in. Select the words that you use to define who I am for number 3 is what is being said. And it's interesting that this character, who is the father of vampires, wasn't it? Yeah, of vampires, is over here, who was very, very charming. A lot of depth. Don't wrong him. But if your family, you are my child, I will protect you fiercely, was the uh, kind of gist of who this person was in a way. And King of Cups are water signs. Water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, who are very intuitive. And also with the desert, it does talk about visions, insights, psychic, intuitive, all of that, which is coming in. So before meeting you, they had a spiritual awakening, or they were on that journey as you met them, is something which is coming through. We have the Three of Wands coming in, and Three of Wands coming in reverse is that hope was a little dire before meeting you. They just kind of lost hope in terms of love, that maybe the way, because this person is an old soul, right? So they resonate with the world in a different way. They have this caring, caretaker energy, and they had to learn their own set of lessons to understand their own, what is a healthy boundary, how much can we give, what is our limit, how much can we tolerate. And sometimes, like, listening to other people's grievances also weighed them down, and it made their hopes a little more bleaker when it came to long-term love, although they were always hoping to find their soulmate. But in this world, which is so fast-paced, the kind of losing hope is what is coming through. And we have the Ace of Pentacles coming in. Wow. Yeah, that need of, I'll only get into a relationship, or I'll only get into dating someone when I'm very sure, like my soul will know. And only then, once I have crossed the T, dotted the I, become sure of the nitty-gritty, will I full-fledgedly invest in something that I actually believe in. Because I've tried taking chances, even when there were certain things which were throwing in cautions. I have overlooked red flags in the past. I don't want to do that. I want to be 100% sure before I divulge any of my intentions, is something which they made uh, which they, how do I say it? Promise themselves before meeting you. On cutting, we have a Hierophant because they didn't want to waste any time, because they, somewhere down the line, this person knew that the time is coming now that I want to settle down and I don't want flaky, superficial things anymore. I want something real, and I might as well wait, might as well abstain till the time I don't cross path with that person. Taurus energy coming in with the Hierophant over here. And with the kind of people that they were meeting, or even like, their friends also, making them meet people, nothing excited them per se. No person excited them. And they were kind of waiting for it. Wanting to enter something only when they know they actually want to ground it. We have cause and effect. You are aware that the love you create in your thoughts is an agent to change and the foundation of your results. And we have empathy. You feel and understand the emotions of another in the service of love. So yeah, these were the lessons that they were learning, the extent of it, and the fact that you can be an empath, you can understand why someone is acting or treating you in a certain way, but like you can resonate, like not resonate, but you can understand that, but it doesn't mean that you have to tolerate that kind of a thing. Which they were learning is something which is coming in. The cause of an effect is an energy of sorts, where what was told was, if I keep entertaining the same things will keep happening. If I want change, then I'll have to incorporate change on my own, is something which is coming through. So before they met you, right before they met you, they had in mind that now on I want to try something different, even if it is interacting with people I haven't dated, someone who isn't my usual type. I want to keep an open mind and experience something different, is something which is coming through. Like through their own patterns, they were learning the way they were relating to love. So there was a eureka moment, epiphany, or certain kind of realization which brought in a little bit of a tower moment. And it made them realize that they were actually looking for something more fulfilling, something more long term of sorts. That they were actually ready for something authentic. And that will only come when they are being authentic. That they'll be able to find someone who is authentic themselves. And also, initially, is something which is coming through. This person was hoping that you'd just understand intuitively, understand what they're feeling, what they want, but they realized that they had to speak the truth also, or give a few more hints, because they weren't being too obvious per se, is something which is coming through. All right, what else? For some, it could also be like, right before meeting you, they accepted a new job offer, which could have involved changing house, changing location also. It's interesting. We have number 20 and number 22 coming through. These are the cards of how you influence them in a way. So this is the call of the siren, talking about sexuality. and Bastet and Sekhmet with ferocious femininity. So this is really nice because, like, the embodiment of femininity, divine feminine energy coming through, speaking with grace and all of that. Like, this person almost felt like they got bewitched by you, by the draw that you had, the confidence that you oozed. Um, you could also be into the metaphysical. You could also have psychic gifts or certain special connection with cats, with animals, the mystery around you, the feline energy, the rawness in you, which is so almost ripening to perfection, is what drew them towards you. They may have had their apprehensions, but it's almost like the moment they met you, they knew you were the one, because they got enthralled by your mentality, by the way you conduct yourself, the way you talk to to other people also, which is very similar to who they are, resonated with them, and it's almost like a, don't mind, but it feels like an emotional boner which is coming in. Like, so what if you're an empath? Yes, I have a soft side, while I also have a fierce side, which is very protective, but I value myself highly. I'm gonna do my own thing. I don't need to be rescued. I'm a force to be reckoned with. That kind of a vibe which came in, and they were like someone sitting in a chair, and the you walking in, and them just taking a long breath in and going back, resting their back, and taking a long look at you with kind of a vibe which is coming through over here. Wherein in the past, or in their dynamics with other people, they were always playing the role of the provider, of the rescuer. And you came in and opened their eyes to the fact that you don't need to be rescuing other people to feel that you are playing a pivotal role in someone's life. You can relax. It could have also been that this person, being such a go-to person, helping everyone else, it could have been in the past that people, their partners especially, may have had a jealous streak which tried to control them quite a bit by creating drama and all of that, projecting their own insecurities onto this person, and it became very difficult because this person has this nature of helping others. So you came in and said, like, I like doing that too, but I don't overdo it. But yes, if you have that urge of helping another person, I'll not stop you from doing so because it makes you happy. And this person taking, like, say, this person taking care of the parents and all of that may have been something that people in the past, their experiences, may have had a little problem with in a certain way, not in a superficial way, but, like, canceling plans due to the fact that they had to cater to their parents and all of that. Maybe that happening a few too many times. You've come in and you're like, it's fine, I like that. I like a person who can prioritize the family, who is family oriented. I can see that is something which is coming in. So quite an eye opener for this person. And also the fact that you can express yourself, even your emotions, good and bad, or however it is. You being vulnerable a safe haven for this person, and slowly and steadily they found the courage of expressing themselves, their emotions also, or they're learning that they don't have to keep bottling it up in order to keep the other person happy, that conversations can be had. And due to the fear of abandonment, they could also fear confrontations. But the fact is, like, no, they understand that now, that it's all right to agree to disagree, and that not all conversations lead to arguments. We can find a healthy balance or a healthy compromise from both ends for mutual benefit, is something which they are calming down and truly believing in what you both have going on. All right, let's pull out a few signs and the messages coming in. This could be yours or the other person's, or someone acting in that energy. We have a Scorpio loves you like crazy, wants to enchant you coming through. We have a Cancer needs to look at the bigger picture coming in. We have a Scorpio needs to bury a few keys, to close old doors, any kind of healing that may be still required. But I feel this person now becoming ready for emotional intimacy, which they feared, always longed for, but feared opening up to with another person. But you came around and that's changed a few things. And Aries gotta do it differently coming in. And with the siren also coming through, because I heard the drought is now over, they are physically also very much attracted to you. You physically and mentally stimulate them and they're hooked. We have a Pisces needs to take off them shades coming in. Cute. A little bit of broodiness which they are working through. It's almost like, you have brought out their childlike self. So they're working through that also. But the fact that they feel safe enough to be their playful self and not fear judgment is a great achievement from their eyes, through their point of view. We have a Leo can't stop obsessing over you. And we have a Libra misses your depth and wit coming in. Yeah. They can't have enough of you. And they literally are quite excited about how things are going, where they are going, wanting to open up to love once again, and have another go at it. Yeah, they're absolutely charmed by you. All right, now let's look into the messages coming in before we close this reading. Yeah, they're very deep in their emotions. Very deep in their emotions in regards to you, because they have strong feelings for you. But they don't want to reveal too much, is something which is coming through. Oh. All right. We have nothing can keep us apart. You are in my heart. We have, wow, look at this. What we have been saying has come through. Did you put a spell on me? You got me dizzy. I've been thinking about you over and over again. So non-stop is something which is coming through. They say nobody's perfect, but you look perfected. We have, okay, you win. The silent treatment is killing me. If you have been a little silent because for whatever reason, you got busy, or they were too busy, they weren't giving you attention, or however it is, right? Or they said something lousily and it put you off, or something or the other, irrespective. They can't wait to talk to you again, because even if they may be burying themselves in work and all of that, their thoughts again drift back to you is something which is coming through. What you said is coming true, spookily amazed. So they're also recognizing that you're quite a psychic, you're quite intuitive. They may not readily want to give you a chance to say, see, I told you, but you said certain things, and they are now with time coming true. So they know that you were actually looking out for them. It's a confirmation that you were correct. Somewhere down the line is something which is coming through. I miss you and I love you is the last thing that they want to say. So let's hope they get their ducks in line, in order, and reach out, because that's the first intent which is coming in reconciliation also. I was running from myself, running from love, running from life, from you. And we have, you are an angel. They see you as an earth angel, a siren also, who's truly gifted and very much protected. You have the, it's almost like your spirit guides. This person knows that you're very special. Even spiritually, you are so well taken care of. And even that pulls them towards you is something which is coming in. You could be a light worker also. And the candle is now overflowing, and so are their emotions, is what is being said. Yeah, the feelings run real deep, and it's about to get real over here, because they're becoming very clear as to who you are for them. They see life partnership with you is something which is coming through. All right, so I hope this resonated, and thank you so much for your precious time. If this was insightful and you enjoyed the reading, then please do hit the like, subscribe if you haven't already, share it with the loved ones, and until next time, Om Namah Shivaya. Keep that vibe high, my lovely moon.